Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update on Thursday, July 26th at 10:57 p.m. Mountain Time 2018. Take a look at the Fissure 8 lava channel, and you'll notice, as I pointed out, the levels have dropped. And this is just in the last 24 hours. Look at how far down the channel is. Also, the lava is sluggish. Up to maybe 8 to 10 feet here, it has dropped off. And this is since the last explosion, which, by the way, was the longest period of time between explosions since the eruptivity began, coming in at over 59 hours. Now, it's just 500 feet from Isaac Halle boat ramp there. And the lava front and the laze plume is persistent and as big as ever. But the channel has dropped down. And we're going to be watching it closely because that might mean that this eruption could be coming to an end, or the fissure could be sealing off, and that could mean pressure building in the main caldera here. Now look at the drop down event you're going to see here. This is not the most recent, but the one we showed you last night, which is coming out now again with really good footage. Now it's a massive caldera collapse event. Just some excellent footage here. I'll leave you links to all this. Let's get on with the update. Big weather change means you better find a sweatshirt. Update July 25th. That's now. Yes, this is temperature forecast for 8 a.m. on the 28th, and there's 50s everywhere, and it could be colder. Yes, a big weather change is coming to Michigan and the Great Lakes. You will possibly need a sweatshirt in the early mornings and evenings this weekend. A strong cold front is going to move through Michigan Thursday, July 26th. Temperatures will be 20 degrees cooler once the cooler air settles in, and then you'll feel it being cool in the summer. Hail hits Minnesota, Wyoming. Hoser, look at this hail. This is catastrophic shredder hail. Now, this hail hammering parts of Minnesota and Wyoming on Wednesday, rattling Comfrey County, the town of, which is about an hour west of Mankato, shredded the trees. It is literally shredding the vegetation, and we're about to show you how it shredded the agriculture. This is just amazing. These people who captured this footage of the hail that is shredding the leaves. Look at it. Impressive to say the least. It was very sharp and very shreddy. And that's the first boom of the day. We're going to be really bogged down here because we're going to do some unprecedented stuff. Here's the big white combine in Comfrey. We were just reporting on it. Hailstorm destroys corn and bean fields near Comfrey. And that resident in Comfrey had the footage out their window, their house. But take a look at these corn stalks. A brief but powerful hailstorm has shredded the Comfrey crops, prematurely harvesting bean and corn stalks on July 25th. That is some funny stuff. And that's knowledge. Al, what are you doing? Oh my God, was that a boom? Residents posted videos of the hail shredding leaves off trees, and we just showed them to you thanks to Electroverse, something like that. National Weather Service, Weather Ready Nation ambassadors, we are at the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Check out. There's no words up here, so there's nothing wrong there's nothing going on. Obviously, we have heat warnings and watches here all the way up towards Washington State throughout Northwest Oregon. So heads up there. In my area, we've got flash flood warnings and watches in the burn scar region. And just simply click on your county to find out what's going on. That's as easy as that. Hail pounds Toronto during intense storm. Whew. Hail pummeled parts of Toronto Thursday as a powerful summer storm swept through the city and brought highway traffic to a standstill. The rain began shortly after 4 p.m., falling in heavy sheets. Environment Canada issued severe thunderstorm warnings due to concerns of large hail, damaging winds, lightning strikes, and torrential rainfall. Oh, that's just wrong. It's wrong. The strong storm is expected to strike several regions with the Greater Toronto Area. Come here, look at Rosa Huang and other people. I just love saying that. Look at this. Look at the storm front. Do you want to say biblical? Look at some of these pictures. It's insane. We're going to go there. Let's blow it up. Yes, thank you, Neil Wadwa. And that's a boom because we're now using the Twitterverse. Look at this storm front. That's a Henderson Brewing Company. Yeah, they make beer there. But that looks... Whew. Let's get on with it. Most of BC under air quality statements, heat warnings due to wildfires. This is coming from the Canadian Press just moments ago. Looking high above the small town of Oyster, BC, in the southern Okanagan, eh? Hoser. You betcha. The glow of smoke in the fire illuminates the sky on Thursday, July 19th. Shit, that was weeks ago. I'm sorry, this is old news. Published weeks later. Tornado warnings blanket London and the region. London and area residents were kept on their toes and apparently had colanders full of buckets of ice, blanketing the region. That's like a spaghetti monster, whatever thing. Golf ball size hail hit residents northwest of London Thursday evening. Whew. Those are pointy little suckers. London and area residents were kept on their toes, as repeated in history just moments ago in the Dalton Minimum. We are repeating history. And the cosmic ray signature is apparent. We are coming back here to Dalton Minimum Times, which is off the current CMIP6 solar forcing data set. And we're going to see what happened to the crops in this region. Residents were urged to leave cars, trailers, or tents and take cover at the first signs of threatening weather, including funnel clouds, swirling, or flying debris. And there were flying debris. Colander's full. It's been 3C and raining all day in Ballarat. And they're on track to have their coldest July day ever. Or on record. Almost a 1.5 degrees C below that. And I'll have more on the number 7 night news, says Janet Bunn. Which probably has a nice bun. I didn't say that. Put the kids to sleep. This is coming from the Iceland Monitor. You can't make this up. My computer's not working. Whew. I wonder what's happening outside. Heavy snowfall in Bolivia kills 18,000 livestock. Did you hear about this? Probably not, because you're not subscribed to Electroverse. Or supporting them on Patreon, you numbskulls. We'll talk about that later. Now, these guys just dropped out of from the sky. Latest Arctic sea ice thickness, we're going to get to that. Latest Greenland ice sheet totals, we're going to get to that. It's off the charts. Here's the sunspot number. It's on the floor. They have live space weather and other things. You can see KP's just about 0, so you probably already know I said that. Now, let's talk about the Bolivian kills. Bolivian authorities, oh, we don't want that, but thank you for offering that to our listeners, and we're going to get to that in just a moment. From Electroverse, Bolivian authorities report that heavy snowfall has killed thousands of livestock and have requested outside help with the recovery. In fact, he added, there were 70,000 head of cattle, 80% alpaca, 20% llama in his territory, and 20% or 18,000 were lost just in this one storm, which was just a 2-foot little dusting in this region, but not good because the snow has stopped for now, but the surviving livestock, there's no grass to eat. Yes. Welcome to the new paradigm. The one that's right here where you are. See this? You are here? Yes. It's not even anywhere here. It's off of here where we anyway. So, alpacas are dead. Severe thunderstorms leave 117 towns without power in the Ukraine, flooding in Kiev. As of Thursday morning, 117 populated areas in the Ukraine were without electricity supply as severe weather conditions ravaged the country, reports the State of Emergency Service of Ukraine. And I bet you CNN didn't tell you that. No, but Electroverse did. Are you supporting them on Patreon? Are you picking up what they're putting down? I'm like a clown. Cold, wet, cloudy summer. Yeah, it is Iceland. I'm sorry. That looks like shite. Whew. Man, it's like 10 and 8 and like it could be 11. Oh, it's sunny and 18 in these places. But we told you almost 6 weeks ago that Iceland is recording its cloudiest season ever. Barely seeing the sun in some areas. It's official. The weather in Reykjavik as far this summer has been excessively cold, wet, cloudy, as predicted by Diamond at the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. There, right there's Iceland. Right down there. And they've got a long way to go because it's not until the winter of 2019-2020 where the real hit the fan. Now it's official. Traus Jonk's blog, who has just posted the weather review for the first 14 weeks of summer. They're approaching midsummer, and it is midsummer. But he reports the summer so far has been exceptionally warm in the East Fjords. However, to the west, it's been very cloudy. The warmest since 1949. This weather is cockamamie. In Reykjavik, the average temperature is only 7. Yes. As if that weren't enough, the sun shone for only 343 hours in the first 14 weeks. Where's the sun? It's been gobbled up by Svensmark and his cloud theory. What a D-bag. Army to test 3 extreme cold weather overboot prototypes. Now, why in the world, if we're all burning up, would the Army be testing 3 extreme cold weather overboot prototypes? I know. Correlation is not causation. Grand solar minimum much. Ow! Oh, he's still in the hot tub. Seismic update. We've had another caldera collapse event just moments ago. 5.3 volcanic eruption being registered as a lie by the USGS. There was no eruption. It was simply a caldera collapse. The eruption is happening over at Fissure 8 USGS. So those that have access to the website here, can you please edit this nonsense? There are no other quakes of note. We still have a flurry of activity in the Cascadia, northern San Andreas area. So we should be watching that. Mid-ocean ridge is moving, 5.1 at the mid-Atlantic, 5.4 near Voice Island, South Sandwich Islands. No other quakes of note. Volcanic activity on the uptick, sporadic emissions from Sabancaya, Sacajurima, and Aoba, which is Ambe. Now, Sacajurima just recently exploded within the last 12 hours. Now, Ambe, high-level eruption, and we'll probably be getting reports tomorrow, as well as an ongoing low-level eruption. So heads up there. Santiguito, Gariminch, Popo, Krakatoa, Dukono, and on and on and on. Please, if you want to scare the out of yourself, check out the links. Here we're back at the Hawaii Eruption Update noon conference call. Yes. This is from the Big Island Video News. Come subscribe to their channel, man. They gave us this excellent footage of the caldera collapse event, which was about 62 hours ago as I'm making the video. And Jessica Farrakane is talking about the road cracks, and it's kind of boring. It's not good to look at, so we'll talk about other stuff. Now check this out. Presence of more ice. See this? Presence of more ice and old ice than normal along the Alaskan coast region, as well as the South Beaufort Sea and Edmondson Gulf. Now, this is coming out just moments ago, and I was able to grab this information for you. No one else has this. They're going to steal it from us, obviously, but whatever. But this is important. It's close to normal conditions in terms of ice concentration for decades in the Arctic, but this is an anomaly right here. The presence of more ice and old ice than normal along the Alaskan coast region, as well as the South Beaufort Sea and Edmondson Gulf. That is where you are here. As predicted, the ice is building. And I'm going to leave you links to this, which you can share to all your global warming alarmists. This is cutting-edge satellite imagery of all the ice as of today, over a 65-page dossier from Canada. Ice and Weather Briefing, Arctic, Thursday, July 26th, 2018. Thank you, Canadian Ice Survey, for picking up what we're putting down and emailing this to me on the down low. I wasn't supposed to tell you that. But they kick ass, and they're taking names, and so are we, because we're all about sharing knowledge, science, and no nonsense here, just like our friend here at Natural Climate Change. This is naturalclimatechange.us, and this is Dr. Eric T. Karlstrom, Emeritus Professor of Geography, California State University, Stanislaus. And he's just not a geography professor and a totally cool guy and a snappy dresser. Look at this guy. Nice beard. But Dr. T. Karlstrom, he's also the U.S. Geological Survey paleoclimatologist, a.k.a. Dr. Thor N.V. Karlstrom, in the Frequency of Natural Climate Change section. And on his website here, he taught at the university level for 30 years. He taught numerous courses on the topics of climatology, paleoclimatology, landforms, soils. His expertise is paleosols, which I know a lot about because I'm a stratigrapher and a paleoclimatologist, just like this dude. And I think I know him. I think 23 years ago we met at a conference. He looks so familiar. Yeah, I totally know the guy. Anyway, I'm trying to get him on the radio show because he's awesome. He has not bowed to the pressure. He has numerous articles that he and others have written on related topics associated with the truth about natural climate variability, large-scale cyclicity, small-scale cycles, and the fact that the average global temperature is actually 9 degrees hotter than it is now for most of geologic history. And the CO2 concentration averages about 2,800 parts per million to 2,900 parts per million for most of geologic history. Al, why didn't you take that class, you fraud? Oh, it was for the money. What a D-bag. Yeah, you're learning. And we're talking about facts, and we're talking also about frauds. Yes. Now, frauds still make money, bags of it, bundles of it. But we make fun of them because it's just amazing that I can show this on TV. Now, 65 million years of climate change will clearly show you the Eocene optimum and the O18 concentrations being much higher than now. And let you glean some information so you can pick up what we're putting down. 22 million years ago, the Antarctic had no ice. Yes, and it didn't have any ice here at the Eocene optimum as well. The reglaciation of the Antarctic occurred here about 12 million years ago. And there was also a glacial period here at 34 million. So here's clear evidence that the Antarctic has been without ice in the geologic past. And that Pierre Reese map, I mean, could it be from 12 million years ago? I'm just saying. A lot of good data coming from this guy's website because he's a paleoclimatologist showing you that we're about to drop off the cliff. Here we are today. It's the end of the interglacial, which means it's going to get very cold very quick. And in your lifetime, you really have to worry about the next 3 years. And then a few years from now, we'll be able to give you a little better information on how bad it could potentially get. But for now, you should start preparing for the inevitable, which, look at this. It's down low here. It's cold. It's very cold. Dr. Karlstrom, please. We're waiting for your email. Electroverse, new on the scene. Come check it out. I'm going to give you links to it all. They have great articles. Today's updates, global flooding report, July 26th. World's on fire. Are you kidding me? This is one of the best blogs I've ever seen. So I'm giving a big shout to Electroverse, and I'm going to leave you links to all of it. the blog. I'm going to leave you links to the Facebook where you can like Electroverse. There's only like 20 people that know about it. This just, like I said, dropped out of the Electroverse. He's jealous. I mean, well, boom. So Electroverse Net on Facebook. Come over here. Tell them Oppenheimer Ranch sent you and like the page. Only 19 people like this. In 24 hours, I want 1,900 people to like this. Or you're all just frauds. Now, here, if you're scared of Facebook because of facial recognition, come over here to Twitter. Only 7 followers. By 24 hours, we need 700 followers. Well, I don't even have that. So let's just go 300. Okay? And then tweet to him that Diamond did that because he'll owe me his life. No. We're just spreading knowledge. And that blog is top notch. Let's talk about who's not top notch. Valentina Zarkova. Now, she's a fraud. And according to her, there probably won't be a mini ice age in 15 years and global warming and blah, blah, blah. In fact, she even giggles here. First of all, Zarkova in this article says that she didn't even say it was going to get cold. She was just talking about the double dynamo. And she says, however, Zarkova ends with a word of warning. Not about the cold, but about humanity's attitude towards the environment during the minimum. We must not ignore the effects of global warming and assume it isn't happening. Are you kidding me? The conditions during the next predicted minimum will still be chilly. It'll be cold, but it will not be this ice age when everything is freezing like the Hollywood, she chuckled. Global warming and assume it isn't happening. We must not ignore global warming and assume it's not happening, you fraud. Valentina Zarkova, get in the hot tub. It's all about the Benjamins, folks. They don't give a fuck about you. A meteor shower arrives Friday on an incredible night for stargazing. July has been an astounding month for stargazers, full of impressive views. Mars is out there. Go out and check it out. It's the biggest it'll ever be. Till you get in the hot tub with Valentina. The red planet will be the brightest and largest it's been since 2003 and was brighter than it's been in 60,000 years. And if you don't have a minute to go look at it, then you probably have Netflix. So, come check out the Southern Delta Aquarid meteor shower that's happening right now. And if you want to know about it, you can read this article. And I'm not going to tell you about it because you're lazy. The longest lunar eclipse is about to happen. People are going to rip their face off. You want to know where that's going to happen? It's not in North America, so you're safe. But it will still be a full moon, and people will rip their face off because there is a full moon effect. Now, as I predicted 7 months ago, we are still at multi-decadal Arctic sea ice volume. And it is curving up, as I predicted, and should span across here at some new record level, where record Arctic sea ice volume will extend to 30-year highs this summer, and we'll still be global warming and burning up. Now, let's check out Baffin Island's 9 meters of ice. I checked on it. We're going to be watching that closely as this progresses. And Greenland is no different up in the Arctic. Record levels, unprecedented. 550 gigatons per day in summer being gained. 200 gigatons being lost. So there's a net gain of shit ton of ice. It's not melting. It's building at over 300 gigatons in the summer. the Greenland ice sheet. Meanwhile, Al Gore is keeping the dream alive and filling his pockets with the ducats so he can suck it. And that's a boom. Guys, I hope you got something out of the video. I've never had so much fun in my entire life. Share this with like-minded people. The science is becoming clearer to you because you've been watching for a while. The evidence is becoming clearer to people because they live on Earth. When they want to know the truth, you can send them here. Be safe.